Difficult task, eh? A few months back, I think, when Mr. Tebreval, Geeta and others, they came to my office and they thought that they want to organize this meeting. The idea was basically a get-together of all the JNUites who had spent first 10 years of their life, or their academic life in this campus. I told them that instead of having only some entertainment and also having a good dinner, why can't we think about JNU and the future of JNU, which was also in their mind. My idea was that we'd like to listen to people who have spent time in this campus, see how they project their views about the future and the relevance of JNU in the society. I was supposed to only note down points, later on think about those ones and see how to implement those ideas which have been given so elegantly by Dr. Romila Thapar, Niraja, Alok, Arun and others. I've done that. So it's a homework which I have to do. But you want me to respond to them now, which I would not do immediately. I'm not an alumnus in real sense, but I joined JNU in 1973, immediately after I did my PhD, appointed as a research associate to begin with and then as an assistant professor. And I was supposed to teach here and teach people like Alok. He was a student. Also a few more where I was a person from botany, and these were people from chemistry, physics and other areas. They really gave me a hard time and I had to prepare well. And that was a good training, the reverse training it was. And the students made me do hard work, and so I was able to cope with them. When I was appointed here, it was mentioned about our first Vice Chancellor, Bhattacharya. He was the one who appointed me. But after I got my appointment letter, those days the appointment letters were issued by Vice Chancellors. And nowadays it is by registrars or deputy registrars. So at the time he called me in my office and he said, "Don't think that we appointed you because you have done some great work. I appointed you because I have some hope in you." So he said, "I have appointed." There are two kinds of teachers which he has appointed. Those who have already proved themselves. Professor Romila Thapar. Okay, she came to this place. In fact, Professor Romila Thapar, I should tell you, when I was appointing our new finance officer, he's a person from history, And during the interview, I was talking to him. He said he has done history, that he later on went to do his, this accounting course and all that. I said, "Why do you want to come to JNU?" One of the answers was, because Professor Romila Thapar was in JNU. Believe me. He was a student in Delhi University, and he said that I used to come to listen to lectures of Professor Romila Thapar and others and standing behind, and those were the days when he couldn't get a glimpse of a teacher like Romila Thapar. So those were the people who joined this university. So JNU then and now, there's a scenario change. Because that time, faculty who were recruited from outside, who were leaders in their own fields, and there were others who were young, who had just done their PhD, a novice like me, and the aim was to grow with the university together and make efforts. And the other faculty who were already there, they allowed the younger faculty also to bloom along with them. So that was the cooperation which was coming from.
Professor Niraja Gopal also pointed out some very pertinent issues. What I can add is that as a student of literature, we always used to talk in those days as a student. I was a student here from 77 to 82, and I probably attended more seminars of history than of my literature, so because of Romila Thapar and Chandra and all that. So we used to discuss form and substance, and we always emphasize that substance is more important than form. Number one, which I think the fallibility of JNU is coming. It's getting more emphasis on form than on substance. It should have a substantial substance, not just the form. This is one thing which I am thinking. Second thing, I think, I have been speaking in the University of Western Indies also. All the Western universities are so much enamored by computer teaching in the classroom and not a sort of human teaching. So lecture is more done by the computer than anything else. The internet is a very useful thing, but it has made our students, even JNU students, very lazy. And as Professor Thapar pointed out, that sometimes, the evidence is not so correct which they use. The emphasis on books and journals, which, the student used to tell Professor Romila Thapar, almost crying, so rigorous, that rigor also has got lost. I think I will speak at this place.
That Hero Honda Motors sponsoring. I think maybe 90s or I think 2000 around there was some argument on Nescafe. There's a big halla. There is a lot of fight over Nescafe and they had to black it out and all. It's good that JNU is evolving. It has to evolve because the country is changing and JNU has to change. JNU's model has actually worked over a period of time, and in that scenario we have JNU actually led the country, but now the country actually is moving forward and JNU is trying to stand still and it's not able to adapt to the changes. So I think we had to make a compromise between the change that is happening outside and the what we call core values that actually we are holding on to. We have to make a middle path where maybe we have to open up, where JNU has to open up, because maybe we may not understand the problems of students or we would not have understood maybe in our intellect and all, but students need jobs and they actually look forward. So maybe most of the institutions were surviving and most of the institutions were doing very good because they are actually collaborating. They are not actually selling off, they are collaborating. So I think JNU should also have certain type of what we call programs where outside companies can come and actually tell about the things because it is changing.
Thank you very much.
Whatever has been said from the dais, this is for the younger generation sitting here. Please don't mistake me, ma'am. All of us sitting here learned much more at Pratap Singh's dhaba in front of Godavari than classrooms. There was a character called Jairus Banaji. None of you would have heard. But each one of us sitting this side will even today feel nostalgic about him. He was a powerhouse of knowledge.
And everyone is nostalgic about it.
And his lectures after dinner used to be really enriching, rewarding. Even today, we remember him with reverence and deference, though we were contemporaries. How many of you at the dhaba discussed Arab Spring? We used to discuss about kombucha. in front of that dhaba, anything happening in the world, we used to discuss. And that enriched us, that sustained JNU. Dr. Sudhir, Vice Chancellor, will not be able to sustain that culture unless you will start doing something at your own. I would agree with Niraja. This monster of University Grants Commission is meant to kill creativity. We may not agree because he is part of administration. We should not agree. But the fact remains that we Indians are experts in killing creativity wherever we find, because we feel threatened. So, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, try to inculcate some kind of wisdom in UGC. I'm sorry, one ex-JNU was chairman UGC some time back. And the kind of criticism I read in the newspapers, that day I felt bad of being from JNU. Because I expect anybody who has breathed on this campus, even for a semester, would be sensitive. This campus was known for sensitivity. I'm not criticizing. I don't mean to criticize. And last.
When Jairus Banerjee spoke, the meeting had to be warmed up. Jairus Banerjee did start speaking at the start of the meeting. And Arali was one of the speakers that warmed up the meeting.
The person who was